Good day, Jen. My name is Lee Pei and my matching number is 261881 and my partner is Lim Hiu Shin. Our topic is about the factor influencing spending habits among University Utara Malaysia students. Now I want to present about the chapter 1, which is introduction. In this chapter 1, it involves overview, problem statement, research questions, scope of study, and significance of studies. Now I want to talk about the overviews. Nowadays, spending habits of university students are not stable, especially for the students who live in the hostel. Is because they feel very comfortable at home and suddenly they need to move to a new place for study. This will increase their spending costs on entertainment, basic needs, and accommodation. This is a huge challenge for the university student. After that, their spending habits will depend on their family background, financial aids, and daily habits. This research is very important because we want to know about the factor influence spending habits among university students. University students will spend their pocket money, scholarship, and educational loans such as National Higher Educational Fund, which is PTPTM. Based on the Malay's mills, government had allocated from 3 billion ringgit to 3.5 billion ringgit in loans to 190,000 students in 2019. After that, based on the study in Malaysia, it shows that each of the students need to prepare expenses monthly around 2,000 ringgit. But this want to see about the factor geography area. The student needs to estimate 300 ringgit on accommodation, 600 to 900 on food and housekeeping, and 50 to 100 on books and stationery, and last is 200 ringgit for medical and personal expenses. After that is problem statement. Nowadays, university students are lack of financial literacy skills to manage their personal finances. Financial literacy is very important because it shows that ability of individuals to understand and use various financial resources to make wise and effective decisions. In the previous time, the student only brought books, stationeries, and some school supplies to done their work. But nowadays, the era of technological development, the student forced to buy the electronic gadgets like computer and smartphone to do their assessment. The student needs to understand about the financial knowledge because it will help them to manage their own money properly in spending and reduce the bankruptcy of university students. After that, our research question divide into three, which is, can a higher financial literacy level reduce the financial crisis of university students? Second, what factor influence the spending habits of university students? And number three is, who spend more among male and female university students? After that is scope of study. This study is talking about how factors such as financial literacy level, financial aid, family background, and educational level that influence their spending habits at UUM. We are using the primary data through online platform, and the family background will base on the parents' income, and financial aids will base on the pocket money, scholarship, or educational loans. After that, each student come from different background will spend their expenditure different amount. After that is significance of study. This study provides UUM students with a clear and good sense of financial literacy. This also can allow university students to understand their spending habits and control their daily expense. This can avoid the debt and financial crisis of university students. This study provides relevant and useful information for researchers and enable the researchers to better understand their financial literacy influences spending habits. Therefore, improving the financial literacy of university students can reduce additional expenditure and bankruptcy cases. Now I want to pass to my partners.
Good day, Jen. Before I start chapter 2, let me introduce myself first. My name is Lim Hiu Shin and my metric numbers is 26366. In chapter 2, it includes review of past studies, theoretical frameworks, literature gap, and literature review summary table. In this literature review summary table, I will discuss together with review of past studies because their contents are similar. In this review of past studies, it comes from 15 journal articles with different authors. So, we classify into 6 categories, which are spending habits, financial literacy level, financial as, family background, education level, and gender. Now, we talk about spending habits first. Muhammad et al. Said that nowadays, young people live in a debt culture which is promoted by expensive lifestyle and easy credit. However, Chawari concluded that everyone's spending habits are different. In financial literacy level, the researchers say that the university students have high demands for various schools but lack financial literacy. Lack of financial literacy will cause financial costly today and in the future. So, students need to master financial literacy to handle their money and ensure a stable financial situations. However, Pillai et al. Show that financial literacy is not a problem to influence spending habits because he found that people need to have positive thinking and just put more efforts to success in finance. In financial aids, the researchers said that the students use financial aids to offset their expenses and buy the things they like. Muhammad et al. Said that students who receive higher financial aids will spend more money, so their spending costs are increasing every year. After that, family background will affect children's spending behavior. The researchers said that the parents have an important role to influence on the children's financial habits and spending behavior. This is because children will follow the same spending habits of their parents, so parents have to give a good role models and educations to their children. Furthermore, some researchers said that the education training programs can increase financial awareness and financial literacy levels of university students. On the other hand, some researchers said that formal education did not teach financial literacy and many young people don't know how to manage their money. So, the researchers said that the school must provide financial education for every student to ensure that they have financial literacy. They also state that the higher grade students will gain better financial literacy. This is because they have opportunities to improve their knowledge through courses and experience. In addition, the researchers say that the different genders have different spending habits. Males and females shows excessive consumption behavior. The research said that the females prefer to buy clothes, bags, and shoes, while males prefer to buy electronics and entertainment. The researchers said that the male students involved in financial socializations earlier than female students. This could prevent male students involved in bad spending habits. However, Jaya et al. Show that male students have higher financial problems compared to female students. This is because males did not receive any incomes from their parents or no extra money to buy other goods. Some researchers concluded that females have less knowledge about personal finance than males. This is because the researchers found that male students prefer to choose mathematics while female students prefer to choose English and art subjects. So, male students have better financial management than female students. Actually, females will be more effective and more cautious than males in controlling budgets and spending money. Hale et al. Was agreed that female students use more financial management practice than male students. Next, I will talk about the theoretical framework. We find out 7 theories about the factors influencing spending habits. The first one is the life cycle hypothesis, LCH. According to this LCH, students can plan their lifetime expenditures based on their future incomes to pay off their debts. The second one is consumer theory. The students who have the knowledge of consumer theory, they will spend based on their preference when the budget is limited in order to obtain maximum utility. Furthermore, personal budget theory is important for schools to educate students to make their own spending plans to avoid excessive debt problems. Next one is human capital theory. According to this theory, schools can provide students with some investments training to help students who lack financial aids to increase their financial capital. After that, financial choice theory can help students make rational decisions before spending their financial aids. Based on social learning theory, the spending habits of students are easily influenced by their parents or others. The last one is gender schema theory. The traditional family backgrounds believe that women do not need financial knowledge. Therefore, female students have lower financial literacy levels than male students. Next, I will continue with literature gap. The first one is the studies have not been trying to indicate which financial management methods should be adopted. The second one is no studies mention that not all higher education students have good financial literacy. Besides, these studies have not yet explained that compared with family and school factors, students today are more influenced by their peers and social medias in spending habits. The last one is no studies on how education solves the problems of students who lack financial literacy. That's all for chapter 2. I will pass to my partner to continue chapter 3.
Now I want to present about the chapter 3, which is methodology. In this chapter 3, it will divide into sampling design, variable operationalization, and model specification. In this sampling design, we are using the primary data and use the questionnaire ways to do the survey. The target population of this study is University Utara Malaysia students, and we use the nominal level data, which means that we pick the student randomly without natural order. The sample of this study is 30 of University Utara Malaysia students, and we only focus on Malaysian students. This is because we want the fair result. It shows that students that come from different country will spend the amount of money according to the ability due to the exchange rate factor. This study provides the data set by doing the questionnaire. The questionnaire had divided into 3 parts, which is personal information, financial information, and factors that influence the spending habits. The questionnaire also involved the dependent and independent variable. Dependent variable is spending habits, and independent variable is factor that influencing the spending habits. After doing the questionnaire, we will analyze the question into the variable operationalization table. In this table, it shows that dependent variable and independent variable. Dependent variable is spending habits, and the question will be asked, how much do you spend in UM per month? And the answer will be given in the range of RM. The first independent variable is financial literacy level, and the question will be asked, what level of financial literacy do you have in the spending habits? And the answer will be given by high, moderate, or low. The next independent variable is financial S, and the question will be asked, where are your financial resources come from? And the answer will be given by pocket money, scholarship, or education loans. The third independent variable is family background, and the question will be asked, what are your parents' monthly income? And this also will be given by the range in RM. After that, the academic background will divide into 7 questions. The first question is, parents play an important role to influence spending habits of their children. And number 2 is, primary school have the role to influence the spending habits of students in the future. And number 3 is higher grading student in the max score will have better financial literacy. And number 4 is higher financial knowledge will influence the awareness spending of university students. And number 5 is degree students will have more financial problem compared to diploma students. And number 6 is make sure students have the ability to control spending habits without influence by others. And number 7 is students have considered about their financial situation before purchasing luxury goods. And this answer will be given by 5 points rating scale, and 1 being very disagree and 5 being very agree. The last independent variable is gender. Gender is a dummy variable, and 0 is being male and 1 being otherwise. That's all from my partner. I want to pass to my partners.
Now I will continue with the last part of Chapter 3, Model Specifications. Model specifications refers to determine which independent variables should be included or excluded from the regression equations. In these studies, multiple regression model is more suitable to interpret. This is because there is more than one independent variable to influence the dependent variable. This is a general model for spending habits, which includes 5 independent variables, namely financial literacy, financial age, family background, education level, and gender. After that, developing to a population regression functions, PRF. This is a PRF model. As we can see, Y represents spending habits, S1 represents financial literacy, S2 represents financial age, S3 represents family background, S4 represents education level, S5 represents dummy variables, and it would be coded 1 if male and 0 otherwise. So the coefficients of male is more than females when the male's indicator variables is equal to 1, and the female indicator variables is equal to 0. And the difference between these two population regression functions is the coefficient of male is more than females. That's all for our groups. Thank you for watching our video.